Hey everybody, it's Rachel with Rachel Q Stitches and welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, July 27th, 2021 and this is FlossTube number 26. If you're new to my channel, this is a channel mainly about cross stitch. I'll talk about quilting and any kind of sewing and hand sewing and slow stitching type of stuff, but mostly cross stitch. 99.9% of it is cross stitch. If you're new here, thank you. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. I wasn't here last week. Our pastors, he and his wife are really good friends of ours. His mother passed away, and so Tuesday was the funeral. So we drove up 4 hours to North Louisiana to go to that funeral. So I was unable to film. But anyway, so it was a neat homegoing, really neat. I met his mom once or twice through all the years we've known them, and she was a sweet, sweet lady, and so it was really neat hearing her 2 nephews officiated the service. So it was really, really neat hearing their perspective of their aunt and what they remember about her, and so it was very beautiful. And so anyway, so that's where I was last week. And this week, we had a meeting this morning, and I told my husband, I hope I'm in time to film, because if this meeting goes too long, I'll just be exhausted. But it didn't. It was in and out. We were fine. So anyway, so here I am. So I have 2 finishes this week. Actually, one was from last week, and I was so excited to show y'all, and then we had the funeral, so I couldn't show y'all. So anyway, first, my finish this week. I am working on my Erica Michaels ABC blocks, and this is for my SAL, my hashtag EMABCSAL, SAL, and this is my B block. And it is B for the butterfly stitch, which they are right here, and you can see my first one versus my last one. I got a little better. And then B stands for butterfly and butterfly stitch. So those were the stitches for this block, and I am doing this on a 28 count even weave that was in my mom's stash that I inherited, and I am using thrift store floss. And there it is. My second block is done. So on the 1st of August, I will start C, and I'm not sure what that stands for. I haven't printed it out yet. So that is it. Yay! And then the second thing I finished, yay, look at this, y'all. Serendipity is done. I made a mistake when doing it, and I had to fix it in the middle row right here. And then I did this RJQ. And my R is a little funky. It kind of looks weird. But I did 2020, and I showed it to my husband. He goes, oh, 2020. I'm like, we're not in 2020 anymore, are we? He's like, no, we're not. And so here it is. Serendipity is finished. So now I am going to go and look for a frame. So there it is. Yay. I was so happy to finally have it done. So now just one more piece that I need to finish before I'll allow myself another start. And I'm going to talk to y'all about that new start later. So anyway, so I finished part 2 of the Little Women SAL from Stitching Book Club. And this is what I've done. This is parts 1 and 2. And part 3 has come out already, but I am going to pick that up tomorrow. That's when my new rotation starts. I'm doing a 3-day rotation where I'll pick up an item and I'll work on it for 3 days. So that's kind of how this is. I'm getting more done, and it's a little bit more satisfying that way, working on it for 3 days. So that's it, Little Women. And then I am working on Flea Market Flowers. right here, and I got all of the leaves done, except all of the leaves done, except for like the ones in the middle and this kind of thing, but all the leaves jutting out. I have some mistakes. I told you about the counting mistake in the middle row, which I realized is messing up this row right here, but I'm just living with it. I might scooch this over at the end if it really bothers me, if I notice it really messes with the design. But all in all, I think I'm just going to leave it. It's not really bothering me that much. So that is Flea Market Flowers. And what I decided to do is I pick a color and I stitch everything that I can in that color. If it's a weird placement, I won't do it. But so right now I'm working, you can see here my little pink floss. I'm working on all pinks. So I took out all the pinks that are used and I'm stitching all the pinks. And so when I'm done with that, I had already started this blue flower when I decided to go ahead and do that. So then the next thing I'll do is I'll probably stitch the blues and then on from there. So that is Flea Market Flowers. This is a Lori Holt design on, it was a stitch along on Fat Quarter Shop, but it's ended and I haven't. So that's all I've stitched. I haven't stitched anything else. I've put some of the other things aside that I've been kind of working on. The Carolyn Manning ornaments, I'll put those aside because I wasn't feeling it. So I just put them aside for now. I have them, they're still in my basket, but they're just not being worked on. And then I have, of course, Pandemic, which I haven't touched in a while. I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, I probably should pick that up, but we'll see. But anyway, so that's it. I have one tiny bit of haul, and that is my new Heartstring Samplers Sunday Stitches. And this is Abide With Me. And I'm going to be totally completely honest, I have never heard of this hymn. So I'm anxious to look it up and listen to it. And maybe I have heard of it and I just don't remember it. I did grow up in a church where we did sing hymns. We would sing, like, if you know anything about church, about like a evangelical type church, Protestant church, we would sing a couple of praise and worship songs, and then we would sing a couple of hymns, and we kind of mixed them in. And so that was probably my favorite combination of songs to sing on Sunday mornings. But anyway, so I don't remember ever singing this hymn. And I find that when I stitch these, I hum the song because I'm reading the chart and reading the words, and so I hum this. So I don't know it, so I can't hum it. So I need to listen to it and see if I recognize it or not. So anyway, so my husband and I have been cleaning out storage. Still working on Mom's things in storage and still working on some of our stuff from the farm when we moved from Tennessee. And so that's where he's at right now. I shoot him out the house. He starts school next week. I'm a little sad about that, but anyway, I go through this every fall and every January when it goes back after Christmas. But anyway, so we've been cleaning up, and I said, oh, that's a box of sewing stuff from, like, I don't know, before we moved to Tennessee. I said, it's just a box we've been, you know, every time we move, I said, oh, that's some of my sewing stuff, and we keep bringing it. I never unpacked it. So we unpacked it, and I was like, oh, look what's in here. He said, like, you see what happens when you unpack a box? I'm bad about that. So I found a piece that apparently I had started, and this is it right here. And it's called Silent Night. I knew it was a Leisure Arts pattern, but it's called Silent Night. I did find it online, and I probably will be purchasing it just to keep with the pattern. So I found that. This is probably my second oldest whip, along with that Paula Vaughn. More than likely started them around the same time. It's on linen, when I used to stitch on linen. And in the bag was this. It's all DMC. I don't see any. I was big into bobbinating back then. Kind of similar to what I do now. When I come up to the color, I stick it on a bobbin, and then I use it from the bobbin thereon. And then what I would do is I would stick it, and I started doing this again. I'd stick it in a floss away bag as I'm using it, just to keep the loose threads together. But then when I'd store it in a bobbin case. So I'm thinking these are probably all the colors. So what I'm going to do is when I get the pattern in, because the pattern, of course, was not with it. So when I do get the pattern in, I'm going to see if these are the flosses for it. If not, I got extra flosses. So that was pretty. That was an exciting find for me. I thought that was kind of fun. And it is a project because I've been wanting to do a nativity. And, I was like, oh, I want to do a nativity. And I'd see a couple that I like and, that I thought were pretty, but I didn't want to buy anything. So now I have one that's already started. And I can work on it. So we'll see. So what am I going to start? So Stitching by the Shore has been showing a design that she's stitching. And it's by Stitchrovia on Etsy. And I will link that design below to her Etsy account. And I can't think of what it's called. Something about the beach. It's got beach umbrellas and people laying on beach chairs. And I really like the colors. I thought, oh, I love those colors. It's so pretty. And so the other day I was on my Readly app. And if you don't have Readly, I like Readly. It's $9 a month and you get access to a bunch of different cross-stitch magazines. My library has stopped using a lot of the cross-stitch magazines on Libby. In fact, they quit doing magazines on Libby. They're using another app which has 0 cross-stitch magazines. So anyway, I was flitting around on Libby and I saw they had some older magazines that I hadn't looked at. I'd look at the new ones as they come out, or maybe the Christmas ones, or around December, February, or October. And so I was just kind of scanning through, and I saw the pattern very similar to what Stitching by the Shore is doing. Laura is doing. And so I opened it up, and I saw it had her name, and I see right now I can't think of her name. I'm going to look, hold on, let me get my paper out. I saw her name, and I was like, I think that's what Laura once referred to her as. Hold on, I don't want y'all to see it just yet. Emma Congdon. That's her name, Emma Congdon. And so I looked at this pattern. I was like, boy, that looks a lot like Stitchrovia's pattern. And so I went on Stitchrovia's Etsy page, and sure enough, she had it, and she is Emma Congdon, same lady. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Well, then a couple of magazines either before or after. So what I did was I went on at the top of the search on Readly, and I typed in Emma Congdon because I wanted to see what else they had by Emma Congdon. And so a couple of them picked up, and so this was a couple of magazines above it. So I'm going to say newer than the one that Laura's pattern that she's stitching is on, was this one, and it's called City of Romance, right here. And I love the colors. Now, this is also available on her Etsy store. So I'll have 2 links for you. One link is for Readly, and that is my link. And the other one is for Stitchrovia. Like I said, you can get it quote unquote free on Readly, or you can pay her. She's got another one on her Etsy page that I really want in her Etsy store. And so this is available. It's called City of Romance in the magazine, but it's also called City of Love on her. I need to drink some water. It's called City of Love on her Etsy store. So this is it. And y'all, I absolutely, I don't, just something about the different colors and it reminds me when I was saying that we watched Britain's Hidden Villages of Britain, Penelope Keith on Prime. And I love the art. It was these kind of colors, but it was like blocks of colors. There wasn't massive amounts of shading. It was just really, I don't know, but this reminds me of it, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I think it's beautiful. So I am going to start this. So I was looking at the supply list, and it calls for, it is stitched on a 14 count Zweigart lilac. So I was like, I can't spend any more money. School's about to start, my husband's buying things for the classroom and whatnot. I cannot spend money right now. So I went and got my 14 count Aida that I bought on Amazon. It's called Kato, and Laura talks about this too. She bought the 18 count. I've purchased both the 14 and the 18 count. So I went and got my big thing of 14 count Aida that I bought, and I pulled out my Dynaflow dies. I wet it real good, and then I put it in a bowl and with water. And so in the water, I dropped a couple of drops of the I think it's called lilac, violet maybe, Dynaflow dies. And I didn't iron it. I gotta iron it to set it. But look, it's, I don't know if you can tell, but it's got some splotches where the dye hit it. But so this is the one side, and this is the side I'm going to use. And so it's going to go like this. And so most of the city is going to cover up the splotches. But isn't that pretty? It's a pretty purple. I need to try to figure out how to do it so that I don't get the splotches. But I'm not too worried about the splotches because, like I said, they're on the edges because of the way I had it bunched up. And so, you know, this will be part of the border, and most likely most of it will be covered. But I think it came out just a pretty purple. So that's what I'm going to do this on. So that's my new start. So my new start is, and like I said, I need to finish at least most of Flea Market Flowers. So this is it right here. City of Romance by Emma Congdon, or also known as City of Love by Stitch Rovia. So that's my new start. I am excited. It is not quite full coverage, but it's definitely going to take some tugging on my part. The holes do shrink a little bit, so it does take a little bit of work when it comes to stitching it after you've dyed it. But anyway, there it is. That's my new start. That's all I got for you guys today. I've done a lot of stitching. I've gotten a lot done, which I'm excited about. So, but not much to show y'all. Not much to talk about. I did see. Okay, so Laura, if you're watching, I thought about you. Joann's has started carrying Anchor floss, and my Joann's has it. I have not gone to the store yet, but it does show that I can pick it up. And they have Anchor Black, which Laura uses a lot, stitching by the shore, instead of 310, DMC 310. And it's sold on a jumbo spool. And I thought about her because she says she always buys 4 or 5 skeins at a time. And so I thought about her, and I was like, I need to go see if they have the full range of colors of Anchor, because City Stitcher did a thing on Anchor floss. So it's been a while. It was one of the first videos that I watched that she did. And she just talked about how they have a little broader range of shading, of colors for shading. So I've been wanting to try it. You know, I don't have any Anchor floss. In all my stash, I have no Anchor floss. And so I think I might go and get a spool of the black. Now the spool, and I should have written this down, the spool comes with, I think they said 25% more. So I think it's like maybe 12 yards for 75 cents. But then the jumbo spool, I don't remember how much it has, but it is like $2. So I'm going to say maybe, you know, 24, 36 yards maybe a little bit more. So, but I thought it was kind of interesting. And I think it is 6 strand. So you have to, you have to strand it. But I thought that was kind of exciting. So I'm going to go check it out this week. See if, you know, if we're not doing anything, or if my husband has a golf day planned or something like that. I'm going to go check it out. And, but anyway, but that's all I have today. It's a 20-minute video. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope to be here next week. I do believe my husband will be in school next Tuesday. Class doesn't start yet, but teachers have to report for meetings. And classroom days were really, you know, they're, oh, you can have time to work in your classroom, and then they call a meeting. So he didn't have time to work in his classroom. So he usually gets that done on the days they don't have to be there. So anyway, so we're about to hit into fall. My kids are, my son is about to start his 4th year of Bible college. My daughter just went for 2 years, so she is working, but she is interning at the church. So with outreach, inner city outreach, which her heart is there. So that's what she wants to do. So anyway, that's it. That's my family. So it's about to calm down a little bit with school starting up. I'm about to have a little bit more free time. Me time, I should call it. A little bit more relaxing time, and hopefully get some more stitching done and maybe get some more projects and quilting done that I can show you guys. But anyway, I will see y'all next week, Lord willing, and y'all have a great day. Bye.